in her inner power. Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1, and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me?
Overdose is a function of prohibition. And how many drug busts are we going to see on television where $250,000 worth of stolen goods were received at the drug house? Well, that $250,000 of stolen goods is your and my homes, of which somebody's probably being broken into right now as we're having this conference in the name of drugs and being able to pay for drugs. Significant things that have happened lately, I think, with regard to the war on drugs. The movie Traffic came out. I thought that the movie Traffic did a great job of depicting the futility of the war on drugs. If there's a criticism I have of the movie, why didn't they give just 1 minute to letting the whole country and world know that there are alternatives to what we're doing, that it isn't as futile as it sounds. If you saw recently, Vicente Fox, the president of Mexico, came out and said that we need to entertain legalization as a way to deal with drug problems. And very significant, the governor of Chihuahua, Patricio Martinez, who is our neighbor to the south, border state, New Mexico, Chihuahua, Patricio Martinez 3 weeks ago came out and said, we need to look at drug legalization, that it is a viable alternative to what we're currently doing, that we have to control this stuff, we need to regulate this stuff, we need to tax this stuff, we need to get this product out from under the underworld and get control of it. It was very, very significant. The current drug strategy in this country, current drug strategy is reducing use. And that is a flawed strategy. And just for a minute, look, if we read in today's Washington Post, alcohol use is up in the United States by 2.5% over the last year, what would you think? Who cares? We understand that alcohol use is cyclical, all right? It's up and down, but what we care about is DWI up or down? Is the health consequence of doing alcohol up or down? Is violent crime, domestic violence associated with alcohol, is that up or down? What we're concerned about are the consequences of alcohol use, not necessarily alcohol use. Why can't we apply those same principles when it comes to drug use? Why can't we look to reduce death? Why can't we look to reduce disease? Why can't we have less drug-related crime? So in New Mexico, we had 12 bills actually that were drug-related, and my promise to New Mexicans was, you pass these 12 bills and I guarantee you violent crime will decrease, property crime will decrease, overdose, hepatitis C, HIV, there'll be fewer nonviolent criminals behind bars, we will spend more money on education, we will spend more money on treatment in the state of New Mexico if you pass these 12 bills. Some of them did pass, and I thought it was significant that of all these 12 bills, none of them died. They all were advancing, none of them had died, none of them had gone to their death as a result of a vote. But we did pass a few bills. One was to allow drug felons, convicted drug felons, to work at racetracks. Another was to offer an alternative that with 18 months left to go on a nonviolent drug offense, that you would be allowed treatment as an option with the 18 months that you were left. Another one was to restore voting rights to felons. Another one was to limit liability of law enforcement administering anti-opiates. I'm talking about the ability of law enforcement to be able to inject Narcan into an overdose victim. Narcan is a wonder drug, costs about $1.50, and apparently somebody can be dead on the floor, you can inject them with Narcan, and they're alive. The other day I was talking to a group. Somebody raised their hand. They said, Holland is not like the United States. The police are your friends in Holland. The police are your friends. The police are your friends here. It's a fact, they are. But the police have taken it on the chin because they're the ones that get stuck with enforcing the laws that we have. So back to Narcan, all right? Back to Narcan. Here's a bill where law enforcement in New Mexico